Seniors, spray castor oil on the navel to treat these 7 health problems fast. What if the path to better sleep, less pain, and a stronger immune system starts not with a new medication, but with a single drop of oil on your belly button? That might sound too simple, or even silly, but stay with me because simplicity often hides wisdom. My name is Dr. Thomas, and after 4 decades of caring for older adults, I've come to believe something powerful. The smallest ritual, repeated with care, can bring the deepest healing. In this video, I'm not just going to tell you about castor oil. I'll show you how this ancient, gentle remedy can reconnect you with parts of your body you may have ignored: your digestion, your nerves, your joints, your sleep. More importantly, I'll show you how this one nightly habit can help restore your sense of trust in your own body. So if you've been feeling tired, tight, or just off, you're not alone, and you're not out of options. Take a deep breath, open your heart. Let's begin this journey together, drop by drop. And if this message resonates, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a chance to take better care of the person who matters most, you. Part 1. The Forgotten Center. Why the belly button still matters. Most people think the belly button is just a leftover from birth, something we stop paying attention to the moment our umbilical cord falls off. But what if I told you it never really stopped being important? The navel, or umbilicus, is more than skin deep. It connects to over 70,000 nerves and acts as a central hub for blood vessels, fascia, and subtle energy lines running through your core. In traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, and even some Western neurovascular studies, the belly button is viewed as a gateway, a point of access to the deeper systems of the body. As we age, our body speaks more quietly. Symptoms appear as whispers: bloating after a light meal, tightness in the back, nights that stretch too long without rest. We often chase those symptoms at the surface, taking pills for the gut, another for sleep, and another for pain. But the truth is, the belly button sits at the center of all these systems. Let me tell you about a patient named Joanne, 68, a retired teacher from Pennsylvania. She came to me exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally. "I feel like my body is one big knot," she said. Her digestion was off, her sleep disturbed, her joints stiff. Instead of adding yet another pill, I invited her to try something older than modern medicine. Each night, she warmed a few drops of castor oil in her palm and applied them to her navel, gently massaging in small circles for 3 minutes. She did this without expectation, just as a quiet act of care. 3 weeks later, her smile said more than words. "I don't know how to explain it," she said. "I feel like I'm coming back into my body again. It's not magic. It's not placebo. It's biology, touched by intention." When we apply therapeutic oils to the navel, we stimulate the enteric nervous system, improve blood circulation to the abdomen, and trigger relaxation of the vagus nerve, a major player in digestion, immunity, and emotional calm. A 2018 study published in Complementary Therapies in Clinical Practice showed that castor oil applications significantly improved lymphatic flow, lowered inflammatory markers, and even helped with sleep disorders in older adults. So why do we forget the belly button? Maybe because it's quiet. It doesn't ask for attention. But as we age, we must start listening to what's been silent all along. Because if something as small as your belly button can influence so many systems, what happens when we ignore it? The cost isn't just physical, it's a slow disconnect from the wisdom of our own bodies. That's why I say start here, at the center, because when the center is ignored, everything else starts to unravel. And when you nurture the center, you begin to reconnect with energy, sleep, digestion, immunity. In the next section, we'll explore how castor oil helps relieve one of the most frustrating and quiet burdens of aging: digestive discomfort and bloating, and why your gut may be asking for help in ways you never realized. Part 2, relieving bloating and digestive discomfort in aging bodies. The gut may not shout, but it always speaks. And for older adults, It often whispers in discomfort, a heavy stomach after eating too little, unpredictable bowels, or that nagging feeling of fullness that makes you avoid meals altogether. This isn't just getting older. It's a cry for balance. As we age, our digestive enzyme production drops by nearly 30%, according to research from the National Institutes of Health. Gut motility slows, meaning food lingers longer in your intestines. And with weakened stomach acid, even the healthiest meals can ferment, causing gas, bloating, and pain. But what makes this worse is that most people ignore these symptoms, or worse, mask them with antacids or laxatives that bring temporary relief but long-term imbalance. This is where the belly button becomes surprisingly relevant. Remember Joanne from the last section, as her digestion began to improve with nightly castor oil applications? Something curious happened. She reported needing fewer digestive aids. Her appetite returned. She said, "My stomach feels like it's finally not fighting me." Why? Because when castor oil is applied to the navel, its ricinoleic acid is absorbed transdermally through the skin, stimulating nearby nerves, relaxing the abdominal muscles, and supporting liver and gallbladder function, two key players in digestion. It also improves circulation in the mesenteric arteries, the blood vessels that supply your intestines, encouraging smoother movement and less gas buildup. A 2011 study in International Journal of Naturopathic Medicine found that patients who applied castor oil packs to the abdomen for 30 minutes daily experienced significant reductions in bloating and cramping within 7 to 10 days. But what truly makes this method unique isn't just the science, it's the ritual. When you take a moment every evening to care for your belly, you're not just treating symptoms. You're reconnecting with your gut as a source of wisdom, not frustration. Our bellies remember trauma. They tighten when we're anxious. They hold on to stress we haven't spoken aloud. And especially for older adults, digestion is deeply emotional. A meal might remind you of someone who's gone, or of what you used to be able to eat. That's why I believe castor oil helps beyond the physical. It invites you to place your hand where the discomfort is, and to do so with kindness. If bloating has become a quiet weight in your life, you deserve more than temporary fixes. You deserve ease. And here's the hopeful part: when digestion improves, it's not just your belly that feels better. Sleep gets deeper, mood lifts, inflammation goes down. And that's where we're heading next, because when your belly rests, your nervous system can finally exhale too. Part 3, calming the nervous system and improving sleep. When your gut relaxes, your mind often follows. That's not a metaphor, it's biology. The gut and brain are directly linked through the vagus nerve, the longest cranial nerve in your body. And for older adults, that connection becomes even more important. After 60, your body begins to produce less melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating sleep. At the same time, stress hormones like cortisol often increase due to changes in routine, chronic worries, grief, or loneliness. This chemical imbalance often shows up at night as insomnia, light sleep, or the dreaded 2 a.m. stare at the ceiling. But here's the good news: when you stimulate the vagus nerve gently, especially through the belly, you can help reset your nervous system into a calmer, more restful state. Let me share the story of Harold, 81, a Korean War veteran and grandfather of 6. He told me, "Doc, I'm so tired during the day, but when night comes, my brain goes into overdrive." He'd tried melatonin, teas, and even prescriptions. Nothing worked without grogginess or side effects. So I asked him to try something different. Each night, he warmed a few drops of castor oil in his palms, applied them to his belly button, and breathed slowly as he massaged in small, clockwise circles. After a week, he looked at me with new energy in his face. I slept for 7 hours straight. That hasn't happened in 10 years. This isn't magic. It's the parasympathetic nervous system in action. Castor oil, especially when applied to the navel, allows for transdermal absorption of ricinoleic acid, which interacts with sensory neurons that trigger the vagus nerve. This activates the rest and digest mode, counterbalancing the stress-heavy fight or flight response. A 2022 review in the journal Frontiers in Neuroscience emphasized the growing role of gut-based vagus stimulation in non-pharmaceutical treatments for insomnia and anxiety. The belly, it turns out, isn't just where digestion happens, it's where calm can begin. But more than science, there's something sacred about this practice. Lying in bed, taking a moment to touch your own center, not as an obligation, but as a kindness, sends a message deeper than words. It says you are safe now. You may rest. And for many older adults, that message hasn't been heard in years. We live in a noisy world. Our pasts hold pain. Our bodies hold memory. But every night, you have the power to whisper to your nervous system, let go, sleep. And when sleep improves, everything shifts. The body repairs. Hormones reset. Even immune function strengthens. And that's what we'll explore next, how this nightly act of care can also quietly awaken your immune system, helping your body protect itself, especially in your later years. Part 4, strengthening the immune system from the inside out. When sleep deepens and the nervous system calms, another silent ally begins to stir your immune system. We rarely think about immunity until it fails us. A lingering cough, a small wound that takes weeks to heal, or a cold that keeps coming back. But for older adults, the immune system doesn't just slow down, it grows less responsive. By age 65, studies show that T-cell production drops by nearly 50%, and inflammation markers like CRP and IL-6 rise steadily with age. This state, known as inflammaging, leaves the body more vulnerable to chronic disease, fatigue, and even depression. But here's the hopeful truth. The immune system is like a garden. It doesn't need to be shocked, it needs to be nurtured. And the belly button. It turns out it's one of the gentlest places to begin. Ruth, 83, a retired piano teacher from Vermont, came to me during flu season. She had been unusually sick that winter, catching colds easily, recovering slowly and feeling off more often than not. She didn't want antibiotics. She wanted resilience. So I showed her how to create a nightly immune ritual using castor oil, a few drops on the navel, a slow, 2-minute massage, deep breathing. She committed without skepticism, just hope. By her follow-up visit, Ruth told me I feel sturdier, like my body is remembering how to fight again. The science supports her experience. Castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, which when absorbed through the skin, stimulates the lymphatic system, a key player in immune defense. The belly button connects directly to a web of lymphatic vessels in the abdomen, including the cisterna chyli, a major drainage hub for lymph from the lower body. When massaged regularly, this area shows improved circulation of white blood cells, according to a 2020 study in the Journal of Natural Therapies. But even more than that, this practice sends a message to your body. I'm here. I'm paying attention. Because immunity isn't just cells and proteins, it's your entire system knowing it's being supported. For many older adults, this is a powerful shift, from feeling fragile to feeling fortified. And this strength is not just about avoiding illness. It's about having the energy to say yes to walks, to family dinners, to living. And when the body is stronger from within, it begins to show on the outside, particularly in places we often feel the toll of age, first the joints, the hips, the lower back. So in the next section, we'll explore how this same gentle nightly ritual may help ease joint stiffness and back pain, and why the act of rubbing oil into your center could be the most compassionate form of pain relief you've never tried. Part 5, soothing joint pain and lower back stiffness. When your immune system becomes more resilient, your body feels stronger. But for many older adults, there's one area where that strength still feels far away: your joints. Knees that ache in the morning, hips that resist every movement, a lower back that tightens after 5 minutes of standing. These aren't just aches, they're reminders of independence slipping, of freedom narrowing. And for many seniors, this pain doesn't come in sharp bursts, it lingers, low and steady, like a hum beneath everything you do. Samuel, 79, was one of those patients, a retired postman. He once walked 10 miles a day, but when I met him, his steps were short, Guarded. "Doc," he told me, "my body used to carry me. Now it feels like it's holding me back." He tried physical therapy, NSAIDs, even steroid injections. But the pain kept returning subtler, deeper. That's when I introduced something simple, a nightly ritual of applying warm castor oil to his navel and lower back, followed by slow, circular massage. 3 weeks later, Samuel didn't need to tell me it worked. He showed me. He stood taller. He moved more freely. "I don't feel young," he said with a grin, "but I feel like myself again." Why does this work? Let's look deeper. Castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, which is anti-inflammatory and penetrates deeply into tissues through the skin. When applied to the lumbar area and belly button, it improves circulation to muscles and fascia and helps reduce the chronic low-grade inflammation that underlies osteoarthritis, tendon stiffness, and sciatic pain. According to a 2019 article in Integrative Medicine Research, topical castor oil significantly reduced joint pain in elderly patients after 4 weeks, especially in the lower back and knees. More importantly, the heat and motion from self-massage at night activates the body's natural endorphins, providing relief without relying on medication. This is crucial because many pain medications come with risks for older adults: bleeding, kidney strain, dependency. But the act of caring for your pain, gently and daily, can do something powerful. It restores your agency. When you touch your own back with kindness, you shift from fighting your body to befriending it. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Many older adults find that joint pain is often worse when they feel emotionally drained, hormonally unbalanced, or disconnected from themselves. That's not coincidence. It's connection. Because pain isn't just physical, it's hormonal, emotional, even spiritual. And that brings us to the next part of this journey: how this simple belly button ritual can support hormonal harmony and emotional grounding, helping you feel more like yourself again, in the deepest sense of the word. Part 6, Restoring Hormonal Balance and Emotional Resilience. Pain and stiffness are rarely just physical. They're often signals of deeper shifts happening inside. For many older adults, changes in hormone levels can lead to more than just hot flashes or fatigue. They bring foggy thinking, low moods, anxiety, and a quiet loss of identity. Dolores, 75, a retired nurse, told me, "I'm here, but I don't feel like me anymore." Her labs were normal, no major health issues, but her spirit felt dimmed. Instead of adding medications, I invited her into a nightly ritual: a few drops of castor oil to the belly button, massage gently while breathing deeply. Within 3 weeks, her voice changed. "I feel clearer," she said, "like something inside me clicked back into rhythm." The reason the belly button connects to the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal HPA axis, the control center for hormones. Stimulating this area helps rebalance cortisol, support thyroid function, and restore emotional steadiness. Castor oil's gentle touch combined with the act of caring tells the nervous and hormonal systems you're safe, you're supported. A 2021 review in Journal of Endocrine Health noted that daily abdominal massage can reduce cortisol by 20% in older women and improve sleep and mood scores. This isn't just chemistry, it's connection. And when you feel more emotionally grounded, physically comfortable, and hormonally balanced, something beautiful happens. You begin to trust your body again. And that brings us to our final reflection. When small rituals become consistent care, they don't just heal symptoms, they help you return home to yourself. Part 7, One Small Habit, Many Deep Shifts. By now you've seen how a simple act, placing warm castor oil on the navel, can touch everything from digestion to sleep, pain, immunity, and even emotions. But the real beauty of this ritual isn't just what it does to the body, it's what it awakens in you. Jack, 80, once told me, "This oil thing, I thought it was nothing, but doing it every night, just sitting with myself, breathing, touching my body kindly, it brought me peace I didn't even know I was missing." That's the hidden power here. Not the oil alone, but the moment of presence. the return to self-care. So many older adults tell me, I feel invisible. But when you care for your body with attention, you tell yourself, I still matter. This isn't about youth. It's about worth and creating a small, healing moment every day that reminds your body, mind, and heart that they're still connected. Now, let's bring it all together. You don't need grand gestures to feel whole again. Sometimes all it takes is one warm drop, one quiet breath, one touch of kindness. In a world full of prescriptions, loud advice, and fast answers, it's easy to forget that your body still listens to softness, to rhythm, to care. This simple nightly ritual, just a few drops of castor oil, a few minutes at your center, can do what many treatments fail to reconnect you with yourself. Because healing isn't always about doing more. Sometimes it's about doing something different, something slower, something more loving. And if you followed this journey, I hope you now see your body isn't broken. It's simply waiting for your hands on your attention, your presence. So tonight, pause. Place a drop in your palm. Touch your belly, not to fix it, but to listen. And if this message touched something in you, please leave a comment below with one, or share your story. Someone else might need your words. And don't forget to subscribe, because this is only one step in a bigger journey toward living well at every age.